Good morning, everyone. Namaste. I'm going to call in Archangel Michael to place the white light of protection around us with his blue seal. We are going to be reading a trigger. So this is a trigger warning. So if you're not prepared to deal with your PTSD, trauma, it's completely fine. Just please scroll. I don't want to alarm anybody or get anyone that's not prepared to heal from their trauma. So we are going to be reading about the body keeps the score, brain, mind, and body in the healing of trauma. And I am not going to say certain words that I'm going to be reading. I'm going to just not put them in. But I really need people to understand that PTSD is not only for war victims. PTSD is for anybody that experienced a very trauma in their life. So this could even be like a break-in, a fire, but it often could be something that you would go to the police to report against somebody else. So women experience of domestic violence and other things that you can put two and two together for. So those are the words I'm going to be blurring out on this. So it states, and right now we are currently reading on diagnosing post-traumatic stress disorder, and this is not to take the place of you going to counseling and getting help. Anybody that is experiencing trauma, PTSD, it is utmost important to get diagnosed by a professional so they can evaluate you and get you on the right path. But if you're already on that path, you just want to learn a little bit more, or you're interested in looking into that and you want to learn a little bit more, this is a great way. So it says, as we know, war is not the only calamity that leaves humans in ruins. While about a quarter of the soldiers who serve in war zones are expected to develop serious post-traumatic stress disorder problems, the majority of Americans experience a violent crime at some time during their lives, and more accurate reportings has revealed that 12 million women in the United States have been victims of RA. More than half of the blanks occur in girls below the age of 15. For many people, the wars begin at home. Each year, about 3 million children in the United States are reported as victims of this type of abuse and neglect. 1 million of these cases are serious and credible enough to force local child protective services or the courts to take actions. In other words, for every soldier who serves in war abroad, there are 10 children who are endangered in their own homes. This is particularly tragic because it's very difficult for growing children to recover from the source of terror and pain that is not enemy combat, but their own caretakers. So I'm going to one-up it because, again, I used to be a forensic interviewer for abuse, and I also have a master in psychology. So something we really used to teach to the parents is it's not necessarily the trauma of the situation, it's the lack of support that really can ruin a child. So that's why it's easy when it's an outside person, because the family kind of rallies around the child. If it's an outside person, they almost comfort the child to let the child know that anything bad that happens, they're going to be there for them. But when it's within the home, it's somebody in the home, it's a total different circumstance, often very conflicted, the child is not reassured at all to let them know that they are there for them, because it's going between two people that they often generally love. They're very conflicted on that. So the child picks up on that, even if they're not saying that, the child picks up on that and almost feels the guilt for coming forward, because it's often creating a rift and divide. And then now the child is at the point where I'm never going to share anything with anybody ever again, because I don't want to create that complex. So I'm going to hold it all within myself. That's where the PTSD, the depression comes from, and anxiety. So something I often would teach the parents would be that to create a list of people and their phone numbers of people that you really generally trust. That way, the child has options when they come across something in their life that is not helpful. They can say, you know what, I don't really want to talk to mom about this because it's about dad. I don't want to quite say that, but maybe I want to call grandma. Here's grandma's phone number on the list. And this way, it's a list of people that you trust. It's a list of people that the child trusts. If something's really going on with the child, you're going to trust them to call you and let you know, your daughter called me. She's concerned about this and that. And that is breaking something from the Generation X, because in Generation X, you don't talk about your problems, which is how my generation and generations above me were taught. You don't talk about problems. You don't deal with your problems. You just stuff them down. And that's why a lot of people became like alcoholics and drug addicts and stuff. So I hope this helps. I'm going to leave it at that, guys. I feel like that was a lot of information to uncover, but I hope this helps. I love you all. Have a blessed day. Namaste.